Hello YouTubers, welcome back again. Today is a most important lecture which is joining two different tables and fetching data from two different tables as a one record. So for example, if you have a situation where you have user information in two different tables and in your case you need as a one record with all the values. Otherwise you have also option to fetch from one table, again fetch from second table, and then you have to combine your data with your coding logic. But this is not a best practice. In best practice you can also join your data if it is containing the same records into two tables. So let's just create a new table. Okay, we have already created a user info, and again we are going to create user credentials, and in this case id is required because it will be unique. Then name is not required because it is already containing user information table. So we can do one thing, we can write here username and then password. Okay, again you need one more column which is not required for you but it is required for joining the table, which is user info id, and this is required so that you can join your table. It will contain your user info id so that you can uh, check whenever you need which record is connected to which user info. So it will be varchar and limit is just nothing, just 20. Okay, now let's just execute this one also. Python create table dot py. Okay, we got error. Create table credentials, this one is id and this one pass id password. Okay, I forgot to mention here column comma. Now let's run again. Now we didn't get any error, that means it got created successfully. So let's just clear our terminal here. Now we can see by running this one, show tables and show columns. In my case I want to just check tables. Python 3 create tables. Now we can see we have two different type of tables, user info and user credentials. User info is containing only name and contact number, and user credentials is containing username, password, and again user info id, which means if you have a user info of Krishna which id number is 1, then user credential will store your Krishna's username and password, also Krishna's user info table id, so that we can make relations between credential and info. So let's just insert our data, insert into name and contact. So python 3 insert.py. Okay, we have inserted in user info. Now we need to insert in user credentials. So user, now just replace with this table name. Name is not required because in user credentials we have three columns: username, password, and the third one is user info id. Okay, so username is, for example, krish@gmail.com. Password is 1234, and your user info id is, you can't put here some random number. You have to check your user info id of Krishna. uh, we just like inserted a record, right, of Krishna, so we have to check user info table id. So let's just write a query to check that. In update query, select all from user info. We have already specified our select query, so you can run this file python 3 update.py. Now we can see Krishna or Krish has a id number 10. So we can specify here user info id is 10. Now we can make relation between these two tables because user info ID 10 is containing here, right? And user credentials. Now we can make relation between user credentials and user info table based on this column and user info ID column. Okay, so let's just insert this Python. Okay, let's just save our file. Python 3 insert.py. Now one row is inserted. So let's just check again. And update.py user info just replace with user credentials. Now we can see in user credentials we have a data with this username, this password, and this user info ID. Now we have to write a query to join both of tables, and we need a combined data. So in such situation you have to specify a primary table. In my case user credentials is primary. In your case it may be user info or it may be user credentials. So select all. Here you have to specify your table name also. So user underscore credentials dot all comma user underscore info dot all star means all. From user credentials join, this is the keyword which is used for joining tables. Join second one table user info on your condition. So in my case condition is user info dot id columns value equal to user credentials dot which column name, user info id. Correct. So this is the query to join a table. So let's just execute our file and let's just check. First of all, let me clear my terminal. Okay, now you can see I got all the data, but now in this case we have an issue, and the issue is this is the ID number and this is also ID number. The column name is same. In that situation you have to specify your specific column names. So if I want username from user credentials, because I don't want password in my output, so I can just specify column name here. And I also don't need a user info ID because I'm already getting in my user information. So that's it. I just want user credentials from username, and from user info I want ID, and again from user info I want name, and again from user info I want contact. Now let's just execute our file and let's just check. Now you can see from user credentials I got username, and then from user info I got ID, from user info I got name and contact number. So as per your sequence in your query it will show your result. So you can change your sequence number, you can change your column names, also you can do a lot of things, but the joining thing is same. And if you want to also specify your condition, so you can do it after join condition. When your join statement is finished, then you can specify your where condition. So that's it from this video. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to like the video and please subscribe the channel. Thank you so much guys.